And so Lori's kind of joining us now on a semi-permanent basis, or semi-regular, I guess, right? Is that right, Laura? So she'll be on our WhatsApp as well on a regular basis till she says stop sending shit. Okay. So let's just sit up in a comfortable position, whatever that means for you, and we'll see if anything comes up today. If you can sit in your cross-legged position with your feet a little bit more under your knees as opposed to just at your ankles, great. If not, modify. This is the name of our moving forward. By the way, happy February, and I hope the groundhog sees or doesn't see his shadow tomorrow. I don't know what the story is there. Lift up nice and tall. And close your eyes and just start to gaze down to the tip of the nose. And start to slow down the breath and the thoughts and the actions and just let your body kind of go with the flow today. Listen to your body. Let it guide you in and out safely of poses and, never going further than you need to and never going less short than you need to, but go just exactly where your body needs to take you. Just start to engage in Ujjayi breath, which is the breath that moves in and out of the nose with a slight constriction at the back of the throat, sounding for some people like a wave on the ocean or Darth Vader, or the sound of like fogging up a mirror. Lots of analogies can be made, but listen to the breath. It's the guide that lets you know if you're in too deep or not deep enough, or perhaps just perfect. And so when that breath becomes a little bit more staccato, we tend to be too deep into what we're doing, right? So we want to keep it smooth and sweet and soft. Bring your hands to your heart center, and just, if you'd like, set an intention for your practice for your month, the new month of February. Lots of stuff happening in February in terms of semi-holidays. And I think we're in the middle of the Chinese New Year of the snake. Bring your eye gaze back down towards the tip of your nose as you drop your chin down a little bit more. Bring your hands to the third eye, the space between the two brows. And then from here, just interlace your fingers, touch the knuckles towards, or interlace to the webbing, knuckles crossed, and press your palms out in front of you. Keep this chin tucked, and then pull your belly into your spine so you roll a little bit backwards. And just press the palms forward as you inhale, stretch the arms up over your head. Exhale, rotate just the torso to the right side. Inhale, return to the center. Exhale, round and curl the spine again, chin to chest. Inhale, lift your chest and turn your torso to the left side, just keeping the hips grounded. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, round and curl. From here, just release the hands onto the knees and hold onto the knees as you pull back a little bit further. And then using the legs as a guideline, just pull your chest forward and hips stay down. And start to move in the right side, back, left side, forward movements, circular motion. And again, keep the hips grounded. Use the arms as a little bit of assistance to give you depth. And then come back through the center to the other side. And just move and just notice today, it's today, how the body is feeling at any given point. And with one more rounding, come back to the center. Lift your chest up, walk your hands behind you, lean back, shake out your legs, and just switch the cross of the legs. Probably the less familiar position. Move the flesh from underneath. And then walk your arms out to the side so that your fingertips are resting on the floor. Keep your spine long. And then lean to the right side, left arm comes up and over. Keep the left hip grounded. And use the right hand against the floor to lift and rotate. Shoulders down, I'm sorry, it just makes me think of a Playtex bra. Lift and separate, breathe. Okay, that's on film for everybody to hear. Inhale, rise up, left arm comes down, right arm comes up and over, just showing my age. Use the left arm for a little leverage to lift and rotate. Keep the right hip grounded. Good. Inhale, come back up to center, both arms in, out to the sides. Walk your hands behind you, turn the palms so the fingers point away from you, and lift your chest up. Of course, if that doesn't feel right for you for whatever reason, then you change it. Turn, it's a little bit tricky, but turning your elbow creases a little bit more to the sides and back, wherever you go with, you know, how your shoulder is flexible. And then release the hands back to the knees. One more time, lift your chest. Pull yourself backwards, round the spine, release the legs, shake them out in front of you. Move your blocks to the side, come onto your hands and knees, just shift the legs around to either side. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and just do a few cat-cow, getting a little bit more space into the spine here. Chest open, shoulders back, rounding curl. Come back in and out a few times. And then come back to the center. Walk your hands to the right side. Keep your hips up. Drop your chest a little bit lower. And then take the right arm underneath the left arm. And just do a little bit of a threading of the needle. But keep the hips up and keep the left arm to the right side a little bit longer. So a little bit more stretch to the left side body. One more breath. Good, then return your hands to the right side, exhale. Walk through the center to the other, to the right side. Now to the left side. Keep your hips up in the air. And then swing the left arm underneath the right arm. Just a long stretch through the side body, the torso. And good, return the hands to the left side and walk both hands back to the center. And this time, open your knees as wide as you can and put the toes together and come into a child's pose. Reach your fingers forward and your hips back, and you know that you can always go there. Breathe across the spaces, lower back, middle back, and upper back. Keep some energy in the underarms. Spread your fingers. Keep the energy in the hands. One more breath. Good. Empty the breath. Let it go completely, and then come back to your hands and knees on the next inhale and breath. Step your right foot in between your two hands. Grab your blocks if you like. Hands on the floor of the blocks. Right knee over the ankle. Left knee behind your hip. Back foot is firm on the ground. Shoulders back, collarbones broad. Listen. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. Good morning. Drop the hip down. Breathe. Put your hands on top of your thighs. Lift yourself up a little higher for a breath. And then sink back down here. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Release the arms. Stretch them back up overhead. And then release the hands to the floor blocks. Straighten out your front leg. Fold over it, toes up or down. Pull the right hip back and left hip forward. No, you just missed a few minutes of breathing, Cindy. It's good. Inhale, rebend your front knee. And pick up your left heel towards your right, towards your left cheek, butt cheek. Let's try that again with a hamstring stretch. Straighten the front leg, fold. And then exhale, bend the knee and lift the left heel off the floor. As high as you can. Sometimes this will give you a hamstring cramp. And we'll do it one more time. Flex the foot. And then come back in, kick the heel to the buttocks. And release the back foot to the floor. Good, a little bit more stretch into the front hip. Empty the breath, right knee back. Child's pose quickly. Up, that was it, okay. Inhale, short little visit. Come back up. Step your left foot forward between the two hands. Hands on the floor of the blocks. Send your right knee back behind you. Drop the hips low. Broaden the collarbones, press firmly into the feet. Then place the hands on the thighs, inhale, lift yourself up, and then sink back down, stretch the arms up overhead, reach them up, keep the ribs tucked under, so don't arch your back, lift out, if you're going to lift the middle upper back as opposed to dumping into the lower back. One more breath. Good, as you exhale, the hands come to the floor block, straighten your left leg, toes up or down, you choose, pull the left hip back and the right hip forward, inhale. And I keep a soft bend into my left knee. You know, my hamstrings are tight. I have things going on there, so I pay attention to it. Now you need to pay attention to your stuff. Inhale, rebend the front knee and kick the right heel to the butt cheek. Good. And then do the straight leg. Yeah, stand up if you'd like. Exhale, bend the knee, kick. So it's like it's like kind of like a seesaw, right? Right leg goes down, left leg goes up. One more time, bend the knee. Lower the foot. Let's just keep it there. Send the left leg back to meet the right and come back into the child's pose. Knees open, arms can stay on the blocks, get a little bit more stretch. And then come on to your hands and knees one more time. Move the blocks to the side. Excuse me. And walk your hands a little bit more forward. Shift your body weight forward and just lay yourself down onto the floor. When you come onto the floor, you can keep your legs wide for a moment and put the hands so that the thumbs are by the first rib, elbows squeeze in by the side. Push your pubic bone down and engage the quadricep muscles. So just lift the knees up. Don't lift the legs up, just lift the knees up. So there's action energy in the legs and the quadriceps. Squeeze your elbows in towards the side and press them down so the shoulder blades come away from your ears. And then pick up the right heel, kick the heel to the buttocks, and then lower the foot down. Do the same thing on the left side now. Kick it up, kick the heel towards the buttocks. It's almost like a Pilates move. And point the toe, come down. Good, let's do that with both legs together. Lift the knees, the feet up, kick the heels towards the buttocks. Now press down through your arms, push your pubic bone down, and lift your chest up a little bit higher, perhaps. Lower the chest, lower the legs, push back to child's pose, tuck your toes. Lift your knees from the floor and find your hips in the air, downward facing dog, and now you can walk your feet a little bit closer to each other. About hips width apart. Bend the right knee and bend the left knee. And make your way back to the center, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise onto your tippy toes and shift forward into a high plank, shoulders over wrists. Belly is pulled in, crown of the head and tailbone in one long line. Shift a little forward, let the knees come to the floor, lower your chest to the floor. Low cobra, inhale. Stay with just the low cobra or kick your heels towards your buttocks and maybe press a little bit higher in the cobra. Nice. And lower the chest, lower the legs, tuck the toes, sit on your heels, lift the knees from the floor, and find your downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Float your right leg in the air. Lift it up high. Come onto the ball of the left foot. And then drop the right hip level to the floor. Lower the left heel to the floor. So your legs are, your hips are in a parallel position, not open. Right leg presses back, one more breath. Bring the right knee to the chest, come forward, kick the heel to the buttocks, and step your right foot in between your two hands. However you get there, it doesn't really matter. Place your hands on the floor or on the blocks. Inhale and exhale. Just stay in a nice long line. Right thigh parallel to the floor, left heel over the toes, collarbones are broad, breathe in. And on the exhaling breath, spin your back foot on its side, couple of degrees. Pull the right hip towards the midline. Good. Put your right hand on a block on a high height around where your calf is. Begin to straighten your right leg and draw your left arm up. Triangle pose. Pull the knees up. So coming into it from the floor up, you're not going to have as much space, but the block will help. And then spin it so that your shoulders are stacked, knees are lifted. Yeah. Reach out of your right side waistline, one more breath. Empty the breath as you look down. Re-engage the breath as you come up. Left arm down, right arm up. Lean back. Bump your left hip towards the right side. Nice long stretch for the right side body. Inhale. And exhale. And then stand upright, inhale. Bend your right knee. Take your left arm to meet your right arm and come up into warrior one. So your back toes, we really kind of haven't changed the back foot. You might have adjusted it shorter, longer. But basically the back toes are at about, on a clock in front of you, about 10 o'clock. Your front toes are at 12. Pull the right hip back and the left hip forward. One more breath. Release the arms behind your back as you empty the breath. Interlace your fingers, inhale, lift your chest, and fold on top or inside of your right thigh as the head comes down and the arms come up. And you're not collapsing your body weight onto your right thigh. Just hang in there for a few more breaths. Let your head come down. Breathe in, breathe out. Pull the right shoulder back a little bit, left shoulder forward. One more big breath. As you empty the breath, place your hands back on the floor or on the block. Spin your back foot forward. And just step into downward facing dog. Hips up in the air. If you'd like to take push-ups in between, and I'm not cueing them, of course you are more than welcome. Bring your left leg in the air, come high on your right toes, and then lower your left hip level to the floor. Right heel presses down, so your left leg is back behind you, not up so high in the air. It's not going to get that high. Press your chest towards your thighs. Inhale, bend the knee to the chest, round and curl. Look forward, come forward, and step your left foot between your two hands. Breathe in a low lunge. Left thigh parallel to the floor, knee over the ankle. Back leg strong, heel over the toes. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Now turn your right foot on its side. Pull the left hip towards the midline. Press down into your right pinky toe, so you have some firmness on the outside of the leg. Take your block on its highest height around your calf, right? Not your foot, your ankle, but a little further back. Begin to straighten the left leg and trace the right arm up so the shoulders stack. Eye gaze can go up or down or forward or back. Lift out of your left side waistline. Lift your knees up. Stay strong through the legs so that you're supported here by the legs. Core is active. Take another breath. Look down as you empty the breath. Inhale, rise up, come up, and just reverse it. Right arm down, left arm up. And try to get this right hip from hiking and push it down and towards the left hip. So lift out of the waistline. Breathe in, breathe out. Reach your fingertips to your toe tips. One long line of stretch. One more breath. Go a little deeper if you like. And exhale, come back up, bend your front knee. Take your right arm, bring it forward, turn your hips forward. Warrior one position. Back foot is now 2 o'clock on a clock in front of you. Arms can be up and touching, they don't have to touch. Stretch the arms straight. Even if your arms are out here, which is fine, and then say maybe you just get a little more lift in the upper back. Take another breath. Good, empty the breath and bring your arms behind your back. Interlace the unusual way, knuckles down, heart lifts, inhale. And then fold over, cat time, and fold over your left leg on top or inside. But if you're on top of the leg, you're not just dumping your body weight there, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Hang your head, reach your arms up. Couple rounds of breath right here. A little bit uncomfortable, okay. You'll get away with it, right? Just breathe. Nothing lasts forever, particularly yoga poses. One more breath. As you empty the breath, sometimes it feels like they're forever. Hands on the floor, back foot turns forward. Good. And step back to downward facing dog. Now you can stay in the dog, or you can shift forward to a high plank, low plank situation. Right? So do chaturanga any way you'd like. Upward dog, cobra, low dog, or low cobra, and downward facing dog. Inhale, float your right leg high. This time, open the hip a little bit more. So drop the heel behind you, level out the shoulders. Breathe in, just kind of let gravity just drop that heel backwards. Good. And then turn your torso forward, knee to chest, round and curl, and step your right foot between your hands. Turn your back foot on its side. Good. Take your block, high height, straighten your front leg and trace the triangle back up in the air. Lift out of your right side waistline. Good, so the block, especially coming from the floor, having the block under your hand is going to give you a little bit more lift in the waistline. Inhale, rise up in reverse. Exhale, bend your front knee, sweep the left arm around, arms up. Inhale. Exhale, arms behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold on top of your leg or on the inside of your leg. Inhale, release your hands, spin your back foot forward, and step back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, lift your left leg in the air. Bend the knee and open the hip. Keep your shoulders level. Let the heel drop back towards your buttocks. Inhale. And exhale, knee to chest, rounded curl. Step your left foot between your hands. Turn your back foot on its side. Take a block on the outside of the left leg. Inhale, straighten the leg and trace the right arm in the air for triangle pose. Reach up, reach down, reach right, all directions. Look down. Inhale, rise up and reverse the warrior. Bump your right hip to the left. Exhale, bend the knees, stretch the right arm forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, arms behind the back, interlace the other finger on top, lift your chest. Inhale, and fold over as you exhale. Forward fold, let it go. Good. Inhale, release the hands, spin the back foot forward. Step the left foot to the right, downward facing dog. Choose to stay there or add in a push-up chaturanga. 1, 2, or 10. And we meet in downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, float your right leg high in the sky, open the hip. Exhale, step the right foot to the front of the mat. Grab a block and put the block forward this time. Take your weight into your right foot and begin to walk your hands under the shoulders or on the block, right hand in particular. Put your left hand to your hip and spin yourself open to the left side. Keep your hand on your hip for now. Use the waistline, lift it up, and then bend your left knee back. Let's see what's going on here. Without holding it, bend your left knee back. So stack your hips, Cindy, like half moon. Get your left hip on top of your right. So your body is turning to the left side of the room. Without holding your leg, take your left arm in the air. Spin your heart open. Breathe in. Take your time. Keep the leg bent. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Bend your right knee. Kick your left heel to your buttocks. Bend your right knee more. And then bring the left knee to the chest. Step your feet together on the floor. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale, rise up, bring the arms up. Exhale, send prayer to your heart. Release your arms by your side. Shift the weight to the left leg and kick the right heel up in the air. Oops, just kick the heel up. Bring your hands to heart. Soften the left knee. And begin to hinge forward and straighten the right leg out into warrior three. Drop the right hip down, right leg up. Focus. Put weight into the left heel. One more breath. Good. Bring your hands to the floor. Step your right foot back. Good. Take your left hand block, or your block to your left hand. Walk your hands forward. Begin to shift your weight into your left leg. Put the left hand on the floor or on the block. Put the right hand onto the hip. Turn your torso so you're stacking shoulders, stacking hips. You're turning to the right side of your space. Breathe in. So the other side. Good. Now, so your right leg should be in the air. Bend your right knee without holding onto it. Keep your hand on your hip for now. Just work on opening up the hip, opening up the shoulder. The hand could be elevated on the block. Take another breath. Good. Keep the leg bent. Release the right hand. You can put your hands on the floor of the block. The left knee can be bent a little bit, a lot. Kick the heel to the buttocks. Breathe in. And step your feet together. Forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Stand up tall mountain. Shift your weight to your right leg. Bend your left leg. Without using your hands, kick it behind you. Soften the right knee, hands to prayer. And begin to shift forward. As you shift forward, the left leg starts to extend. Warrior 3 with your hands at your heart center. Breathe in and breathe out. Maybe the first day of February, this balancing is going to be tricky. Good. Now release your hands to the floor. Step back. Downward facing dog. Decide if you want to take chaturanga push up here or stay in your dog. Any variations are welcome. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, float your right leg up, open the hip. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Good. Inhale, begin to send your left leg in the air. Right hand's gonna stay. Left hand to the hip. You can put your right hand on a block. Open up the hip. Now stretch the left arm in the air, half moon pose. Bend the top leg. And then some of you will take your left hand to your left ankle and grab a hold of it and bind. Some of you won't. Neither one matters. Neither one's better than the other. They're just different. But open up your hips in. Open up your hip, Michelle. Good. So your hips should be stacking. I don't care if you don't have the foot in your hand or anywhere near it. Good. All right. If you're holding onto the foot, stay there. If you're bending the knee, stay there. Turn your hips to the front, hold on to it. So the simple way of getting out of this is to put your left foot to the floor and come up to standing. But another way of coming out of it, perhaps, is to hold on to your left foot and come up to standing. Not so easy. For me either. So somewhat of a dancer's pose. Michelle, your favorite pose. And then come all the way up to standing. Place your feet on the floor. Hands to your heart center. Okay. Weight to the left leg. Left leg. Pick up your right foot. Bend it. Take your right hand. Kick it wherever you want. Outside or inside. Stretch your left arm forward. Take this to a warrior 3 type pose. Dancer's pose. But we have the leg bent, right? So warrior 3 with a bent knee for dancer. Your hips are fairly level. Your right leg is bent in. You're holding on with your hand. Nope, look up. It's dancer's pose. Don't go so fast, we're not there yet. Take another breath. Okay, now, with your right foot in your hand, bend your left knee, left hand to the floor of the block. Now open up into half moon on the right side. Bound half moon. You probably have to, if your hand was on the inside, you'll have to shift the hand over. Take a breath. That's it, Zen. Now you got it. Half moon, bound half moon. One more breath. Release your right foot slowly. Release your right hand, square your hips. Supported warrior 3 pose. Breathe. Bend the left knee, step back, downward facing dog. Okay, we have a short session. I have to give you a bang for your buck. Inhale, step your left leg up in the air, open the hip. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, walk your hands forward, lift the right leg up. Just the same pose you just came from. You just did this side. Don't feel like you're on the wrong side. You're not. Right hand up. Bend the right leg. Open the hip. Stay there or bind with your right hand. You just did this pose. You're on the same side. Don't think that I screwed up or you screwed up. You didn't. Good. Now, if you can, turn your right hip down and you're facing center. Right hand is holding onto your foot. Like I said, the simple way to come up is just to step your foot down and stand back up. Or you can try to balance through it. Take your right foot, hold it, soften your left knee, stand up slowly. You can do a short little dancer's pose, and then come back to center, release your foot, release your hands. Put the weight into the right leg, and pick up your left foot, inside or outside. I'm going to let you choose. You kind of know where you're going now, and there will be an adjustment of the shoulder position. Arm up, and decide if you want to kick and begin to hinge. Kick and extend the leg, kick and extend the arm, the chest, the back. Stay with it, stay with breathing. Take your time. These are not easy transitions, and if you know anything about yoga or vinyasa yoga, transitions are equally as important as the pose itself. So now, if you have your foot and you'd like to try, bend the right knee. Again, you can make the adjustment. You can just put your foot down, put your hands down, and then pick up the foot again, right? Start to open up your left hip. You're back into the bound half moon. Hip, shoulder open to the left. Breathe. Good, stay with it. Good. Turn yourself forward. I don't remember how I got out of it now. Release it to regular half moon. Fold over. And then step the left leg back, right leg back, down dog. Something like that, right? Breathe in and out. Without bending your arms, shift forward and drop your hips to an up dog. Arms and legs are straight. Come back to plank and downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg up, open the hip. Exhale, bend the right knee to the chest, right knee to the right wrist, and come down. Don't sit down all the way. Don't lay down. I'll have to adjust the camera. Take a block under your right hip. So a block the long way under your hip, so your sitting bones are connected to the block. Okay. Again, if this is not happening in your body, you'll find a way to adjust, even on your back. Bend your left leg. Take your right hand in front or to the side of you. Take your left hand and grab the left foot or towards the left foot and lift your chest up. Some of you will take this even deeper. Some of you can grab your foot into your elbow crease. In the day I could. In this day I can't anymore, so I go where I go. If you have full king pigeon, go for it. One more breath. If you're holding the foot, go ahead, Cindy, go for it. You got it. The block will definitely assist us here. If you're holding the foot, let it go. Stay with it, Cindy, till you're ready. Come out of this. Now you can stay on the block, or you can remove the block and now come down into your pigeon. And for those of you who need to take this on your back, right leg over left. Figure 4. And then just stay down low in your pigeon pose. And breathe. Settle into it, let go of all tension. Take another breath. Good. As you release the breath, walk your hands back in. If you're sitting on a block, remove it. And then swing your left leg around, sitting the way we started, cross-legged, left leg in front. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Breathe. Big breaths in, big breaths out. No comments, no judgments. Just be. Right, Lori? Yeah. Inhale, walk your hands back up. Lean back. Pull on want you to do is swing your right leg around behind you. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, grab your block, and sit back up on the block. So you're in pigeon on the other side. But we're in supported upright pigeon here. Then the right leg, kick it up towards you. Perhaps you reach around and grab a hold of the foot. Perhaps another arm comes up, and some of you can have a little bit more space on this side to get my foot into the elbow crook. Good, Michelle. Good, Sin. Nice. Nice, good. So any variations are welcome. Any level is welcome. And that's what the beauty of yoga is, that you can practice at any level in the same class, whether it's on Zoom or in person. One more breath. If you're holding on, slowly let go. Release it. Turn your torso forward. And now decide if you want to stay on the block or not as you walk yourself forward a little bit deeper into pigeon pose. Breathe in and let it go. So softening, letting go. Breathe in, breathe out. One more breath, empty it out. And slowly walk yourself back up. Release the block. And this time, right leg comes in front of left. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, walk forward, push your hips back. Walk your hands back in. Lean up. Let go of the legs, shake them behind you, come onto your belly. Makes sense to take this back bend here. Good, head down, chest down, pelvis down. Take a breath, kick your heels to your buttocks. Reach your hands to your feet. Kick your feet away, lift your chest up, and perhaps the thighs come off the floor for a full bow. Breathe in, breathe out. Lift a little higher in all directions. Kick a little higher, lift chest a little higher. Listen to the breaking of my voice. One more breath, big, big, big. Exhale, let it go. Now listen carefully. All I want you to do, wherever you're facing, is roll onto your back and set yourself up for a spinal twist first. So bend your knees to your chest. Take your hips to one side and drop the knees over. So I'll just face forward for the moment and do the spinal twist. Inhale, come back to center and move your hips to the opposite side. Remember, I didn't tell you which way to go. It's okay. Sometimes it's your creativity that gets us going. Inhale, return to your back. Hug your knees to your chest. And now stretch your legs out in front of you and arms by your side, palms face up. Shavasana, your final pose in a yoga class. You worked your body and your mind and balance and strength, stability, mobility, all the good words, our tag words for the year, right? Our mobility, our stability, our flexibility, and of course our strength. So the body has been worked in full, and now it's time to absorb the practice down to the cellular level. If there's anything else you'd like to take, this is your opportunity to take it, or begin to surrender completely to the earth. Shavasana. Stay strong, stay